And that the purpose and the plan of God in your life cannot be stopped. It cannot be hindered by anyone on the outside. You are the only one that can stop your destiny. When the devil can get you to the point where you don't even believe what God has said concerning you. There's no man on the face of the earth that can stop your destiny. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. There's no one. And this is where David, King David, anointed king. David, chosen of God, chosen by God, forgot who he was. And when you forget who you are, when you forget the authority that you stand in, when you forget the purpose of God that's upon your life, when you forget the prophecy of the Lord, when you forget the promises of God, you will begin to walk and operate in a status that God has not commanded and ordained you to operate in, living beneath your privilege and allowing other people's philosophies to determine how far you'll go in life. And so we really can't blame it on anybody else. It's so easy. Just a few weeks ago, you all remember I ministered regarding the priest and king. It's so easy to put the blame on God. It's so easy to try and put the blame on somebody else. Much guilt causes much blame. And so when you're guilty of not walking in the purpose and the plan and the promises of God yourself, that guilt will stir you to such a disturbance and such a dissatisfaction that you have to cast that blame on someone else when you're not willing to walk in it yourself. And so here we see David. David said in his heart. Many of you haven't said it out loud, but you said it in your heart. I know what God has said concerning me, but I know God said that he promised me this, and he promised me to be here, and he promised me that, but it just doesn't look like it's going to turn out that way. Watch this. I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines. There's nothing left for me to do but go back to where God delivered me from. And when you forget who you are, you will go back to the same things and people that God delivered you from.
Talk about it. You talking.
You will find yourself in the same pit, in the same trap.
Come on.
In the same relationships, in the same deficit that God delivered you from, all because you didn't believe the promise. You can't blame it on the white man. You can't blame it on nobody. Come on, somebody. You can't blame it on anything, because the majority of times when you have the opportunity to change your status,
Oh God, that's it.
lay hands on yourself and say, I'm responsible for changing my status.
I'm responsible for changing my
When you have the opportunity to change your status, you shrunk in fear. You defaulted back into your comfort zone where it was just easy for you to survive. Not advance, just survive. Because some people, they don't want to advance. They just want to survive.
That's right.
Yeah, I just want to get through the day.
Yeah.
I just want relief. I'm not thinking about my future right now because I'm so caught up in my past. And you cannot live in three tenses at the same time.
You're talking.
Trying to live in past, present, and future. Your past will stop your present only if you live in it. But once you come out of your past, there's nothing that your past can do to stop your future. If anything, your testimony from where God has brought you from will be the launching pad for you to be launched into your future. I mean, a further distance than you ever thought that you could go. So watch this. Here David decreed and declared, watch this. I shall not one day perish by the hand of Saul. And that's what the majority of believers are living, just waiting to perish. I'm not going to live in my present. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just waiting to perish. I've already given up. I'm just waiting to perish. I'm waiting for that circumstance circumstance to catch up with me because I'm already not flourishing. Nothing is happening. I'm just waiting to perish. I have already signed my own death certificate. I have already come into agreement with my death sentence.
That's for sure.
And so no matter what you tell me to encourage me, no matter how you speak affirmation to my purpose, I am already a walking dead man. I've already come into agreement with my death sentence. And I want to live. My mom passed away at the age of 55, congestive heart failure. I'm 55, and now I realize how young she really was. And the doctors, the defibrillators, is that what you call them?
Yes.
3 times. They turned it up so high until when we went in to see her after she passed, her chest was scorched with the burns of them trying to revive her. And the doctor walked into the room and told the family, said she didn't have to die. She gave up the will to live. When you give up the will to live, I don't care how many people you got standing around praying for you. I don't care how many mentors and how many people that you have around coaching you and cheering you on. When you give up the will to live, you will die. Not because God was not there to resuscitate your destiny. But you gave up the will to die, to live. You chose to die. And then we blame it on God. Where were you, God? He said, I was in you. I was right there. All you have to do is call me up. I was asleep in the bottom of the ship. All you have to do is call me up. All you had to do was remember who you are. And it's not until you remember who you are that me, as being co-sovereign with you, can come in and couple with your faith. I need something to couple with. 0 times 9 is 0 and will forever be 0. You cannot create a plural with just a 0. You need something higher than nothing. For God to couple with and multiply you. We just sink. We just die, son. That's what people do. They give up the will to live. They give up on their dreams and then want to blame everybody on the face of the earth. They give up on education. They stop. Well, if God meant for me to have it, he'd drop it in my life. Who told you that bald-faced, devilish lie? If God meant for you to succeed, he'd give you everything he's given you. Life, health, and strength. When you give your life to him, he delivers you from the curse of the law, sin, sickness, and poverty. Now it's up to you what you'll do with it. See, the majority of people, they lose their kingdom status because they stop praying. Now what you have to understand is the devil will put you in a false position. And that's what happened to David. He went back to where he ran from. Gath, that's where he had met Goliath and defeated him. The devil will send you back to places where you promised yourself you would never go. Run back into giants and people that you know God delivered you from. Okay, here's David now writing his own death sentence. I shall not perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines. Watch this. And David arose and he passed over with the 600 men that were with him unto Achish, the king of Maoch, king of Gath. The king of the Philistine nation, the king of the heathens. Now we know what happened to King Jehoshaphat when he coupled with a king or someone that God had not assigned him to. Let's go real quick. Hold your finger there and turn real quick with me to 2 Chronicles, the 20th chapter. Is that 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles? 2 Chronicles, the 20th chapter. You better get your mind back. The devil is trying to kill you. The devil don't take hostages. Okay, he's not coming after you to hold you hostage, you know, to go to God for a ransom.
God.
That's not what he's doing. The devil is taking you to kill you. He will drain your energy. He will drain your power. See, religion will teach you that all you have to do is come to church. Religion will teach you that you can live one way in and another way out. Religion will teach you that you put it all on God, and when God does not come through for you, then you blame him and backslide. Religion doesn't teach you any type of obligation or responsibility on your part. Christ did it all.
Yes.
He had a cross to bear, and so do we. And except I take up my cross daily, forsaken mother, father, sister, brother, houses, land, even my own flesh, and follow after him, I shall in no wise inherit the kingdom of God. Look, 2 Chronicles 20 and 35. And after this did Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, join himself. After what? After he had just saw a miraculous manifestation of God in delivering him from the king of Syria and all of the other heathen nations that came against the armies of Israel, that they could not fight. God showed him a miracle. And right after God showed him a miracle, and not only did they win the battle, but they collected all the spoil.
Yeah.
So after every battle, watch this, the devil cheats you when he tries to keep you from fighting in your battle, spiritual warfare. Because after every battle, God makes you richer. You qualify for another level of inheritance. And the enemy won't allow you to see that. All he wants you to see is, here I am in another storm. Here I am in another battle. Here I am in another test. Here I am in another challenge. But he doesn't allow you to see that after that challenge, there is a reward. After that storm, after that battle, there is a reward. So when he gets you to shrink from confrontation, confrontation is good. A lot of people think, I don't like confrontation because, or they like confrontation because confrontation, you know, gives me the opportunity to show how much of the devil you are. See, everybody, see how she just spoke to me. See how she just came against me. All because I said, shut up. Watch this now. Watch this. No, confrontation shows me me. Confrontation is nothing but a mirror of my moral reflection. And that's why the majority of people don't like confrontation.
That's right.
Because they hate to see them. You show somebody themselves, they'll be ready to fight you. You tell somebody about their sins, they'll be ready to fight you. Oh yeah, they will. Watch this. And after this did Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, join himself with Ahaziah, king of Israel, who did very wickedly. Wait, now, Jehoshaphat is the king of Israel. How you going to join yourself with a king? Well, we all kings. You know, let the world tell it. We all king. How you going to join yourself with a king that does very wickedly in the sight of God? And he joined himself with him to make ships to go to Tarshish. And they made the ships. Now watch this. This was a business venture. How many of you know you have to be even careful with who you join up to do business with? God even has to guide your steps. God has to guide your feet. God has to guide your plans, even when you're entering into a business venture with another business partner.
Right.
Because if they don't have the same principles and morals and goals as you do, something's going to crash. And 9 times out of 10, what it does, it crashes, and they take your percentage and theirs too.